Hey guys, okay, so here's a video on how to step into a new relationship with yourself. Now, yes, I speak about your relationship with other people, but really, our relationship with ourselves is what determines the outcome of what we manifest within our relationships with others. So, this was the relationships with other people is just a point of reference. So guys, enjoy the video and hopefully you make good use of it. Hello beautiful angels, I'm Christina Batty and I'm making this video today to hopefully help you discover and identify certain behaviors or subconscious programs that live deep within your subconscious mind that prevent you from A, manifesting your happiness, your joy, all that you want, really, and B, that produce unwanted behaviors, especially around authority figures and in relationships. Now, I'm going to focus today mainly on romantic relationships. Well, I don't know how else to begin this other than sounding like a cheesy infomercial. So here we go. Are you tired of manifesting relationships with unhealthy power dynamics and codependent patterns that end up in turbulent waves of drama and instability? Are you tired of manifesting relationships where you experience control issues, whether it's you or the other person? Or perhaps you fall under the category of people who choose partners based on what family members and others approve of. And so you give your power away to those people and essentially they make the decision for you. Yes, there are people like that, and no judgment. I'm going to explain to you. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about why that is, why you do that, and how you're sabotaging your own life. And maybe you've even been in an expired and unfulfilling relationship for way too long, and you are afraid to come out of it because you're afraid of what other people may think, or family members, or whatever. Again, you're giving your power away. So, or maybe you are one of those individuals who always ends up in the same toxic patterns in relationships. Or, just one more example, maybe, and I'm giving these examples to hopefully create a trigger within you and be like, oh yeah, I've experienced that. But really, what we're going to discuss today will pertain to every human being. If you are human, it's going to pertain to you. Okay? So last example. Maybe your fears of rejection, which you may or may not be aware of, or any other insecurity, which, if you ask me, I'm going to say that every insecurity, bar none, every insecurity roots from the fear of rejection. And the fear of rejection stems from the fear or abandonment issues, fear of abandonment, okay? So I'm actually going to make an entire dedicated video on that to explain why and how that is, because it's going to take a long time to explain, so I won't be going into that here. But anyways, maybe those fears cause you to either not go after what it is that you want, or make you behave in ways that end up self-sabotaging potentially good beginnings. So before I go any further, the prerequisite to watching this video and understanding it is that you must watch the 2 videos I made prior to this, and I'm going to put the information below the video, in the description box, whatever, on the subconscious mind, and where I discuss and explain the development of the subconscious programming and the 4 cognitive stages of learning, and what is learned within, what the subconscious mind programs in those cognitive stages of learning, and how that is directly correlated with the development of your program. Anyways, I don't want to repeat myself, and there's a ton of information in those. Please go and watch those. Otherwise, this will not make sense to you and you're not going to benefit from it. So, pause, go watch, come back. I love you. All right. For those who have watched those videos, a quick refresher. Remember, the subconscious mind is approximately 100 times more powerful than the conscious mind. The subconscious mind is responsible for approximately 95% of our daily thoughts, behaviors, yes, this is how we behave, behaviors and all other activities, including walking, breathing, driving, really anything you can think of. It's a record player that's constantly playing in the background, that controls your thoughts. And other than the few times your conscious mind kicks in, and I'm not going to go into explanation because I've already spoke about when that happens in the other videos. So this powerful thing, the subconscious mind, which is responsible for 95% of your daily thoughts, behaviors, and activities, was primarily created before the age of 7. So again, 80% of this program, which drives 95% of your daily thoughts, behaviors, activities, was primarily created, 80% of it, between the age of 2 to before 7. That age range is a specific cognitive stage of learning where your brain is in theta waves. Actually, from 0 to 7, your brain is in theta waves. Theta waves is a brainwave associated with hypnosis. That means you are in constant hypnosis at that age group. Whatever you see, experience, observe, and absorb, you're like a sponge absorbing everything. It becomes part of the program. It becomes your operating system. That's right, guys, your operating system. You are a friggin' computer. Correct. In a way. Anyways. Yes. Essentially, that's what it is. We all have a program, like an operating system, constantly running in the background. So if you want to compare yourself to a robot or a computer, that is a great analogy. And we'll talk about consciousness and stuff in another, and how we can break out of this sleep of this program. But anyways, I'm jumping from topic to topic. Let's get back to what. Okay, so I want to talk, let's get into this. The key to manifesting a healthy and fulfilling relationship lives within your inner child. See, the inner child within all of us remains for a lifetime. It makes up a large chunk of our subconscious mind, and therefore your personality, or like I like to refer to it as your ego, the ego. So you can't get rid of the inner child. But what you can do is heal or change or rewrite or the codependent program occupied by fears, needs, powerlessness, codependent patterns, and restrictions, along with other stuff. You cannot expect to be a whole and self-actualized person until you have A, become aware of these fears, needs, powerlessness issues, and restrictions, including codependent programs of your inner child, and B, attended to these fears, needs, and restrictions so that they no longer play a part in your subconscious mind. And sometimes we begin to become aware and recognize these programs through observing the patterns in our life, and especially the reoccurring turbulent patterns. Those are the best ones those are like a kick in your face, like, dude, girlfriend, check this out, pay attention, look at your shit, look at your ugly, and clean it up. Okay. Anyways, excuse me. So the more the inner child is ignored, the more suppressed and repressed emotions you will have stored within you. Now, if you don't know the difference between suppressed and repressed, let me give you a very quick breakdown. Suppressed emotions are those that you are aware of, or that are kind of in the background here, but you may choose to not look at it and choose to not be aware of it, but it's here. If you want to look at it, it's right here. It's not anything that you got to really dig for. You may brush it off and ignore it. You will brush it off and ignore it. So you may tell yourself that everything is okay when you very well know that it's not okay. or you may see these emotions surface in various situations, but then you do your best to hide it or make your mind busy with other things so that you don't have to face it. Let's see. Also, suppressed emotions. The stimuli you receive from suppressed emotions will be conscious, whereas the ones you receive from repressed emotions will be unconscious. So now let's talk about repressed emotions. Repressed emotions are the ones that you are unaware of. They are buried deep within your subconscious mind, and you become. They are buried deep within your subconscious mind, and they become a part of your subconscious program without your conscious awareness of it. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know these emotions exist. Your subconscious mind hides these from you for your own protection. Now, that being said, it also surfaces these when it feels that you are ready to face it and deal with it. Now I'm going to give you an example. So the way that the subconscious mind may present these repressed emotions to you, it may be through your behaviors or through emotional outbursts, and you won't know what's going on. You're going to feel very conflicted within yourself. Okay, these repressed emotions are created either through trauma or just through some negative experiences, and as we have as children. Again, I'm only focusing. It can happen at any age, but right now we're focusing. 2 to 7, before 7, correct? Okay, good. Glad you're still with me. So it could be, the trauma could be as big as childhood abuse, or as small as being punished for something you felt was unjust. Okay, so we all have repressed emotions. Even if you had a very bubbly childhood, good for you. You still have repressed emotions that need to be found, unraveled, resolved, cleared up, and then install new programs. Okay, that's how it works. Now, you cannot be in a healthy, well-balanced, interdependent relationship until you have recognized and healed the various stages of your inner child within. Until then, you are going to keep manifesting imbalanced relationships with power dynamics and control issues, including codependencies. Now, some people enjoy that, and good for you. If that's your choice, then keep doing what you're doing. If you're tired of that, then listen. Or you'll keep manifesting overly emotional and turbulent relationships, or unfulfilling, lackluster relationships. Diving right in, age 2 to before 7, where you are solidifying your beliefs about yourself, about your self-worth, your worthiness, your entitlement, the way you give and receive love, affection, and attention. The way, and your authority or lack of, where you were solidifying your authority or lack of, so where you had power and where you felt powerless. And let's be real, guys. Again, between the age of 2 to 7, we are dependent on our caregivers, on our parents, or whoever took care of you. Anytime you're dependent, you are in a state of powerlessness. This becomes a program. This is so important for you to understand. It doesn't matter how mighty you think you are as an adult, there's still that program running in the background that drives your thoughts, behaviors. Behaviors, guys. It drives your behaviors and decision making. Okay. Keep listening and you'll get it. It's a process, okay? And the only way you can rewrite it is by first mapping it out, rooting everything, getting to the roots, and resolving, unraveling, resolving, clearing it all up, rewriting, installing new programs, okay? I'm gonna give you the tools to do all these things, but the first thing you gotta do is map your shit out, all right? Okay, good. Glad we agree. Okay. Questions that you have to ask yourself and dissect. Now, I want you to write down all of these questions, and what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be going back and forth. You're gonna be going to your age of 2 to before 7, and then you're gonna go to now. And you're gonna be making patterns, and you're gonna be making references, and you're gonna making connections, okay? Which means I'm gonna ask you the questions, you're gonna write them down, and you're not gonna come up with an answer like that. It doesn't work that way. You're gonna dig like an archaeologist, and you're gonna figure it out. And you're gonna keep digging and keep digging, because the more you dig, the more crap and ugliness you find, and you're like, this is sticky and icky, okay? Good. Now, questions. What were the restrictions and conditions to receiving love? Again, obviously when you're 5 years old, you're dependent, so what power dynamics played out, and how did you receive love and nurturing within those power dynamics? Where in your life today can you spot those patterns? Now, I'm going to get into the next question I ask is going to give you an example of what, because we all have conflicting programs within us. That is why, and until we figure those conflicting patterns and rewrite them, we'll never be in full integrity and integration with our true self. So let me try to explain this in another way. I'm just going to keep going. So here's a possible conflicting program that you may have. Okay. When you were punished or disciplined, did you perceive that as love? Or did you perceive that as unlove? I know unlove is not a word, but today it is. Or did you have a conflicting program that said it's both love and unlove? And, you know, are you right now today, do you ever manifest, and this is not for everyone, but for those that it applies to, do you manifest abusive relationships? Especially if you manifest abusive relationships, I want you to dissect that question. And it's not going to be just because of that, but this will contribute to that program, to the program of manifesting abusive relationships. There's a whole lot of other stuff that contribute to that. But again, these are programs over programs over programs, connecting like a tree of life. Okay? Good. Next question. When you were punished or disciplined, did you perceive that as unworthiness or not good enough until you prove otherwise? Dissect. Next question. Did you perceive it as restrictions and powerlessness? Of course you did. But dissect it. Dissect it and see how it pertains to today, to your life today, and where it applies. Next question. When you were punished and disciplined, did you perceive it as you get loved only if ... So again, did you perceive it as you only get loved if ... Now, whatever that ... is for you, how is that playing in your life? How are you constantly trying to fill in the ... today? How are you manifesting situations where there's a void of whatever that ... is for you to fill in? Hopefully you get what I'm saying. Anyways, next question. How has getting punished or disciplined as a child played a role in your adult life? Take a look at the way you respond towards authority figures. Do you give your power away to them? Do you make decisions based on needing validation from these authority figures? This can come in the form of parents, bosses, dominating friends, or dominating significant others, etc. Dissect how you operate and behave in romantic relationships, friendships, and family dynamics, okay? Also dissect how you perceive yourself and your self-worth. Also dissect how you treat yourself, especially those suppressed emotions. How you accept and receive love and affection. Dissect that. Also dissect how you give love and or affection. Is it balanced? Or do you overgive? Is there an area in your life or relationship where you overgive? Why? What is the drive behind that? What are the fears behind that? Because essentially what you want to do is create a balance within your relationship, within the giving and receiving. Now, let me explain, because I know a lot of people are going to misunderstand this. Sometimes one partner is the breadwinner, makes more money than the other. Does that mean that you can't be in a relationship like that? No, it does not mean that. Equal give and exchange. Let's say you're the breadwinner, for example. Does the other person truly appreciate what you are doing and express that appreciation in whatever form that is, whether it's through love, whether it's through affection, whether it's however it is that they express appreciation? Are you receiving that? And are you feeling fulfilled from receiving that? If not, there's some kind of imbalance there. So again, we all also have different love languages. So sometimes you may feel like you're giving affection in one way and your partner might give it to you in a different way, but they're still giving it to you. So you also have to analyze and figure out what your love languages are. Anyways, that's a different topic. But so again, how has being told, this is another question, how has being told what to do and what not to do contributed to your powerlessness and victim mentality? Or even how has it contributed to your self-inflicted restrictions you put on yourself that prevent you from achieving your happiness? Again, you're going to have to dissect your life and be very, very honest with yourself and really be willing to look at your ugly. Okay? Next question. This is very important. What was taken away from you as a child? Mentally, physically, physical object, and emotionally. Next question. What was threatened to be done or taken away from you as a child? Again, mentally, physically, physical object, and emotionally. Now, from this question, I want to ask you this. How do you hold on to things, objects, people, and relationships because of the previous two questions, which were what was taken away from you, what was threatened to be taken away from you or done to you? Okay? So again, from those two questions, how do you hold on to things, objects, people, and relationships today? Also, how do you try to control the trajectory of your life and people and things involved because of this? So control issues, okay? Of course, this all stems from abandonment issues, but all these things solidifies it and adds on to it. So like I said, I think I mentioned this, I'm going to be making a video dedicated on the abandonment dilemma, which also gives life to fear of rejection, okay? And all other insecurities thereon in. So an exclusive video on that coming up. I don't know when, soon. All right, so next question. How do you respond to authority figures? And how do you respond to other people controlling you or interfering with your life or decision-making process? Do you give your power away? And if so, where do you give your power away? In what situations? And next question, why? Why do you give your power away? And what are the fears surrounding this? Now that you're an adult, are those fears valid? Are they real, or are they a conditioned response? Analyze, analyze, analyze. Okay, next. What patterns were observed when watching the relationship dynamics between your parents? Because we learn about our self-worth and boundaries through observation. We may relate to one parent more than the other, or we may take on various traits of each and seek a partner to fulfill the remainder of the self-fulfilling prophecies we absorbed through observation. This is especially true for the inner 7 to 11-year-old within you, which we will discuss either next week or the following week. I'm going to explain in a second. Even if you disagree with your parents' behaviors, you're still going to have taken on some of their emotional baggage and made it your own, especially in the cognitive stage of 7 to 11, where you are looking in your immediate home environment for structures to take on as your own, to adapt as your own, as you are slowly coming out of that codependent stage and becoming more self-dependent and moving on into other stages of your life, which I'm going to explain next week, hopefully. But again, this still pertains to age 2 to before 7 as well. So study the patterns in your life and seek to find where all the above mentioned play out and how it plays in your own life and in the different areas of your own life. Remember, the first step is awareness and mapping out the subconscious mind. Only then can you take steps towards rewriting the inner child wound, and changing it to a story of powerfulness, fearlessness, and self-love, and all-around authority towards your life. Guys, stop giving your power away to others. They don't know better than you. You know your life better than you know what's good for you. And if you don't, you're gonna fuck up. And good. Fuck up. Fuck up and learn from it. Make better decisions next time. Rebel. Stop conforming. Stop conforming. What are you conforming to? Whose rules? Whose belief systems? Who said? Why? Grow up. Sheesh. I love you. Okay, so do the homework, guys, and I don't know why that stopped recording. This is super beneficial, guys. I will continue this next week with other videos, but please begin the work now. Mercury is in retrograde as I'm making this video, and we are in Scorpio season. Guys, this is the perfect time for you to just clear out everything inside, clear it all out, okay? Become a new version of you, metamorphosis, butterfly, woo-hoo-hoo. And I will see you soon.